If you've exercised literally ever and spent any amount of time in a gym, you've probably had a protein shake once or twice in your life.
Hey, I got you guys a protein shake.
Awesome, I love protein.
And if you've had said protein shake and forgotten about it overnight, leaving just a small quantity in the bottom of the water bottle, you've probably returned back to it, opened it up the next day to use it, and found yourself in desperate need of a hazmat suit. Oh god, this is bad. Because I film a lot of videos, that happened to me the other day. I was using one of those Fairlife shakes, comparing it in 2 different bottles, and I used ice in the bottle. And because there was ice in the bottle, a little bit was left over despite the fact that I thought it was empty. And when I went back 3 days later, boy oh boy, was I humbled. So I went over to my Instagram and asked you guys for help to let me know what your best solutions are for this problem. And much to my surprise, there was a lot of recommendations and a lot of vinegar and baking soda recommendations. So in today's video, we're gonna try out what you guys recommended to me, and hopefully I can get rid of that smell out of these water bottles, because 2 of them are Yeti bottles and those are not cheap. So I wanna use them again. Let's get into it. The first and most commonly recommended, baking soda and vinegar. But my dumb decided to buy some pass-through stuff. I don't know, what even is this? This is so annoying. Anyways, thankfully it was still a baking soda product, so I just had to pop open the top, even though it said, do not remove box top. But we did it anyway. And what would you know? Just like in every other high school science project, this thing turned into a volcano and erupted. But we'll get back to those results later. The second recommendation, and one that I thought was particularly interesting, was a denture cleaning tablet. I don't know, this sounded like an insane recommendation, so I needed to try it so that we could take on the final boss.
What does he mean by that?
What? The final boss? Yeah, if you're wondering what the final boss was, it was of course a really dank smelling bottle. So we pressed on. First we rinsed the bottle out with soap and water. Oh, why is it that color? Wasn't this a root beer float? Which, by the way, a lot of you guys recommended as being a solution. Just wash it with dish soap and water, or leave it with dish soap and water, which sometimes works, but not if you've left something cooked on there for a few days. I digress. We added not 1, but 2 of those denture cleaning tablets, just because, I don't know, the volume of it was like a liter, and there's no recommendations for this. I'm just trying something out, all right? And that was that. It was pretty easy. We just left it off to the side for 3 minutes. But as you can see, I was clearly optimistic about this one.
I can already promise you, this is not gonna go particularly well.
Much to my surprise, both of these methods actually worked pretty decently well in the metal water bottles. In fact, if you sniff them right now, they smell fantastic. Well, I mean, they smell like nothing, but like, they smell fantastic. The real question is, how can any of these tactics fare against a blender bottle who's fallen victim to a protein bomb?
Julian.
Protein powder and water sitting in there for 2 weeks. And if you want to know how that smells,
This one I'm scared for, because this one I left just for this video. Oh, it had some pressure. Oh, oh God. Oh my God. Oh my God, we need to do that one ASAP. Oh, I need to light a candle or like Febreze this place. That's awful. Holy, that like bites the nostrils.
yeah, if you guessed very good, you nailed it. Unfortunately with this one, soapy water wasn't gonna cut it. So we almost immediately had to move on to our next attempt, baking soda and vinegar. And much like you saw in the first time we tried this, it turned into a science fair project. After that, much to our surprise, the final result
It looks good, but smells terrible.
still smelled like shit. So we had to move on to our next option, the denture tablet. And at this point, I wasn't feeling too hopeful about saving this bottle, because let me tell you, it still reeked. But we tried it anyways, put in an extra tablet and left it there for a few minutes. Came back only to find out it still smelled terrible. But that's not the last recommendation I saw, and mama didn't raise no quitter.
Time to bring in the reinforcements.
So we tried Barkeeper's Friend, which was also something that you guys recommended. Apparently this stuff is good for cleaning everything. I just spent a lot of money on cleaning products. Okay, I'm a little delusional. And after cleaning this bottle with soapy water, vinegar and baking soda, a Polydent tablet, and Barkeeper's Friend, it still smelled terrible.
Oh God.
This. At this point, you may be wondering,
Edin, why would you even bother trying this? Did it work with any of the other bottles?
yeah, every other water bottle was successful. None of them smell bad anymore. But this bottle, the blender bottle, was the only one that wasn't metal lined. The other ones are all lined with metal. So I guess that made it easier to wipe off any residue or maybe clean off any of the smells that lingered. The plastic was a goner. So if there's anything you can learn from this video is you might get lucky with some of these tactics, and just because it works for you doesn't mean it works for everyone. Sometimes it's okay to say goodbye to a bottle. So with all that said, leave an RIP in the comments for that water bottle. Make sure you guys click on this video right here because YouTube thinks that you're gonna like it, and subscribe to the channel right here. Hopefully one day we'll be able to monetize the channel and I'll be able to pay back Jesse for that water bottle I just destroyed. Pray for me.